Hi, I'm Shar. Welcome to my channel. I am Shar. I'm your recap auntie. And I am just here just for a little bit, just to tell y'all, go see Sinners. I put myself right here, but I'm going to put myself probably a green screen. I don't know. Go see Sinners. Excuse me. Had a little drink, a little sangria. So if I'm a little, then forgive me. But go see Sinners. Go see Sinners. I had no idea that this particular film was out until my boyfriend told me about it. My boyfriend said, baby, I really want to go see that. This was like a week ago. And I was like, Sinners? You know, being raised and reared in the church, Sinners is not really a moniker that you want to wear. However, Jesus did call us all sinners. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. So I was born into sin, and they say it was shaped into iniquity. So, but ain't nobody gonna walk around here and say, yes, honey, I'm a sinner. You do, but then you don't. You know what I mean? Anyway, being raised in the church, the word sinner has really not been the most pleasant title to have when you are raised in the church. So my boyfriend kept saying he wanted to go see it. And I'm not really a horror flick person, horror film. I like suspense, so look a little suspenseful, because he's always supported me in almost anything that I do, if he can't make it, there's a good reason why he can't be there, but otherwise he's there. So I was like, yeah, go, Sean, let's go to the movie. So we went opening night on Friday. Took us forever to find tickets to where we wanted to go, because we like to sit in the middle back, near the projector and the office, whatever it is. We like to sit up there, but we couldn't find any seats. All of the seats that they had available were up front. So I just grabbed whatever I could at one of the other local theaters, but I wish I would have gotten IMAX, so we could have gotten IMAX. We will be going to see that again, I'll tell you that much. I want to feel the experience of being in that movie. But however, going to see it, we still had a great time. The movie, if you don't know, is about these twins, Smoke and Stack, and Michael B. Jordan. Now, I ain't even gonna lie, I've never been a follower or a stan or a fan of Michael B. Jordan. I've seen him in almost everything that you could think of. My boyfriend told me that he played in All My Children. I've watched All My Children for years, but he had to remind me who he played. I was like, that's right, he was Reggie. Now I think about it, he was Reggie. And so I followed him. He's done Black Panther. I haven't seen Creed. I've seen him do certain things, but this one, being an actor, being an actress, I do theater. I don't do film, but I've done theater. It's hard to lock on into one character, let alone two. When I tell you, this young man bodied both characters like it was just like butter. I saw two different people. I didn't see one man playing two roles. I saw two different people. The way he walked, the way he grabbed a cigarette, the way he smoked, the way he talked, just the way he stood. It was like two different men. And I have a whole new respect for that man. I have such a whole new respect for Michael B. Jordan. It was about two guys who led a little fast life, in Chicago. They was in the war. They used to work for Capone. They stole from some people up there, stole all this liquor, so they wanted to bring it down south and open up this juke joint in the middle of nowhere. Bought this property from this man. And he wanted, one of the twins was like, you don't want no shit from no damn Clint, And so he's like, no, KKK, Triple K, and I don't mean to say because I ain't getting monetized. They not down here, but this is in Mississippi, 1932. You mean tell me ain't no Triple K's down here? Not now. But I knew them boys knew better. So that's their part of the story. When it first starts, you see cousin Sammy. He shows up at his father's church full of blood and a half-broken guitar. Little side note, I will be dropping some spoilers. So if you ain't no spoiler person, just close your ears and watch me anyway. But he shows up there. His father said, boy, come on in here. You want to get saved? I'm like, don't you see your son covered in blood? And the first thing you want to do is pray for him. You didn't ask him what happened, where you been, what's going on, where your guitar, why you covered in blood, what's the tea. He asked him none of that. The poor babies in the church was all covered, everybody covered in white. They were scared. But the father knew to pray for him. And so it just, reverted back to how the story did. It was like a day early. Like all this shit that happened in this film was like in one day. So getting back to the twins, they were cousins of Sammy. Sammy was the preacher's son. But he had this guitar and he had a gift. And he got it from one of them. And he played that thing like no other. He was so good at playing and singing. The boy could sing. You could tell he was a singer first, then an actor. Although he was great in acting, he had a 12-year-old face, but his voice sounded like he was 50. That baby had a really, really old throat. I was like, okay. So they go and pick him up and tell him that they're going to open up this juke joint. Of course, his father keeps telling him, the back of his mind, boy, you need to put that guitar down. Because this guitar ain't going to sing in hell. You don't need to be singing these blues songs. And historically, back then, a lot of people didn't want a lot of people to sing the blues because they thought it was called the devil's music, like Bessie Smith, Ma Rainey. Those are my loves. I've played Ma Rainey before. I've played Bessie Smith before, and they were always ridiculed for singing the blues, and because it was considered being the devil's music. Because all it does is testimonials. It talks to people about people's affairs, their nightmares, their hopes, their dreams. It just really is like a testimonial song, and it just has da na 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 na. It just has one of those in it, or you just singing what you feel. I don't know how that's devil music, but that's what they said it was. But so his father didn't want him to do any of that type of music. But when you do it and you love it and it's in there, it's your gift, and you found something that you can really connect to, then you're gonna do it. You're gonna live out your passion. Well, his father was like, if you're gonna sing that song, the devil's gonna meet you where you are. And he did it. And so his cousins and them wanted to come down from Chicago and open up this juke joint like they did in The Color Purple. And you know how we do at the juke joint, honey. We have a good time, baby. We have drinks. We got fried catfish. We got chicken. We got liquor. We got sex. We got fights. We got everything you can think of in that one building. But overall, you're gonna have a good ass time. You're gonna have a ball there. Might come home with a black eye, but your ass had a ball. So they finally get people from the neighborhood to help them build the juke joint. And they have this Asian couple who owns general stores. They have the man who's on the black side of town, and the wife is on the white side of town, which I thought was very unique. So one of the twins, I can't remember, I think Smoke was chosen to go with Sammy to at least go to the building and make sure that everything is straight. And then Stax was supposed to go to get the liquor, get the signs, get, different things that they need, get some people to help cook, different things. So, they go through their journey. You have one of the twins, Smoke, who actually goes and connects with an old girlfriend. Her name was Annie. She was a priestess, or they want to call her a witch because she was in the woods, and he apparently had a baby with her. And the baby died. It was a little girl. And I think that thing hurt him so bad. And she was a thick chocolate drop, honey. She was thick. And I've seen her play on Lovecraft Country. She's so good. Every time I see her on the screen, she's like mesmerizing. So she, I guess he felt that there's something was brewing, or he had to come back there because he's finally back in town, came by to see her. And they kicked it. They did what they did whenever they were together. She wants you, tell me you miss me. You want me to say it? Yes, I want you to say it, Nick. Nick, tell me how much you missed this chocolate kitty cat. He said it, and they did it, honey, from the back. So the other one, Stack, I can't remember, but the one with the red hat was the one. He went to town with Sammy to go get Elroy Lindo, I think that's his name, character. He was an older jazz musician, or blues musician, blues, who played the harmonica. Very well known, very well respected. But he hit rock bottom. He had some drinks, and he had a brother of his who was lynched, unfortunately, back then, and he just fell on hard times and just resulted to playing his harmonica outside for pennies. So he wanted him to be like the guest musician at the juke joint. So because he knew that if everybody knew he was gonna be there, it was gonna be jumping. He was gonna pay this man pretty much $10 a day on some Irish beer that they stole from Chicago. So while is it Smoke? No, Stack was out there, and then you see this high yellow child in the midst of all these chocolate people looking. And so Sammy was like noticing that, okay, who is that? He was like, oh, who the fuck is that shit? Man, look this way. And she brings her ass over there. Where you been, nigga? Where you been? After you be good? No, because like we found out that the twins had left, I don't know if they left home, but one of them killed their pappy. And so they wound up staying at this lady's house, which this young, mulatto chick was staying there. And she fell in love with Stack. Because he was fucking her good. She said, you put your tongue in my pussy. And you just decide that you just want to leave? I waited for you. He was like, look, how is this going to work? I'm black. You can pass for white. You think somebody going to just let us be together forever? And no. So she wanted to marry some white dude. Never showed him. But she just couldn't erase the fact that he was back in town. Her cat was probably doing like this because he was back. He was the only one who could do that. And so they was telling everybody in town, if y'all want to see my cousin Sammy play his thing, because him and Sammy and Elroy was playing the guitar together and the harmonica together, and they wound up doing this show at the juke joint. So they passing out flyers and stuff. So she found out he was going to be there. So everybody came there, and they came together and helped build a really great juke joint. I thought it was real strange that the gentleman, the white man who sold them the building, that he just sold them that building with no problem. I was like, something ain't right. But anyway, so in the meantime, they're building, and so you see this other gentleman at another house in the middle of nowhere, just being covered with smoke. Eyes like this, oh, help me. Face all burnt up and everything, asking this white couple to help him. But as he looks inside the house, you can see some Triple K mask in the background. So you hear these indigenous people coming. And so you can see these 3 crows that are flying over top of head, which to me, that signified death. So the crows were flying on top of the roof of where the white couple was staying. So after things kind of slowed down a little bit, the wife went outside to talk to the indigenous people. And she told them, he's like, did y'all see this man come through here? And they was like, no, we haven't seen him. It's like, okay, y'all need to stay away. Don't let him in your house, which he didn't know that she had already invited them in. So they leave, and she comes back in the house, and then she finds her boyfriend his neck was chewed out. And the man, whose name is Remick, who had finally, came in there and bit him and then bit her and turned them into vampires. They wound up being vampires. So we get back to this juke joint. Everybody's coming with their little fine dresses on and having a good time. Well, I forgot to mention that while they were in this little, it was like a train station area, this dark chocolate sister was there. She was noticing Sammy. Sammy looked like about 17, something like that. But she was clearly older. She might have been like in her mid-20s. And so she was noticing him, and, she was like, what you do with that and fingers? He was like, whatever you want me to do with your fingers. Just flirty. You married? She's like, yes. So you think you old enough to handle this? He was like, well, the real question is, can you handle this? And she's like, well, we can see. He's like, well, I'll see you tonight. So she walked out with her big ass, juicy ass just rolling. And so he was like, I'm going to get that tonight. You could tell that she was going to bring her ass by there. So they finally get there, and everybody having a good time, dancing and everything, having a good time. And then there's this beautiful scene, and I have such a pride in this scene. They were saying that how Sammy was singing this particular blues song, and I can't wait to go back to see it because I don't know what the words were. But I can't wait to really be enlightened so that I would know what the words of the song were. But anyway, it started with him singing the blues, and then somehow you heard the stomping of the feet, and you could see different ancestors and different generations. You saw like a Bootsy Collins person. Then you saw this guy dressed like Run DMC. Then you saw these girls twerking in the background. Then you see because the Asian couple came. You see this lady, this geisha lady there. It was just so beautiful to see how music is such a spiritual journey. It calls you. It can invoke so many feelings. It can invoke anger. It can invoke love. It can invoke pain. It can invoke, you can listen to a certain song right now, and it can teleport you to that moment of when you first heard it or what you were doing it when you heard it. And that's why I love music so much. I love New Edition. I love all old school Luther. I love Force MDs, like all of those songs and those groups back in the 80s and 90s, more so in the 90s, helped me love music in a way that I'd never have loved it before. Even with gospel choirs and songs and stuff, when I was in high school and in college, there was so many choir songs that we sung. And if I hear that song right now, it'll still invoke that spirit of praise and worship in me. I can't get with the new type of singing. I only love choir music. I only love that old school. That doesn't mean that the new music is not as effective as it was when I was in school, but at the same time, it did something for me and it did something to me. So to see that particular scene was such a wonderful thing, to see how music is such the heartbeat of who we are, especially as humans, especially being in the Black community. We are definitely something wonderful to behold when it comes to our culture and how things happen because of who we are. Like, even if you think about Michael Jackson would just come out the floor and just stand in the middle of the damn stage, and you have all these Asian people. I think it's a concert he did in Bangkok. Look at that concert. People be fainting and crying and everything. It's because of the music and the power and the magic that he would do on that stage. Had that type of effect on people, and that's how music does to us. It really has an effect on us. But anyway, they had their scene, and so the demon came, and not the demon, but the vampire came, and he felt that song had pulled him to that particular location, as well as the man and the woman. They came and they were singing their song, kind of Irish type of connection. And they wanted to come in there, and they was like, no, we out here, we minding our Black ass lives in the middle of nowhere. Y'all want to come in there? Well, just want to come in there and play. That's it. No, y'all don't. Can we just have our own space without y'all coming in here? Shit. We just want to be us. Sin, be full of debauchery, have a good time. We don't feel like fighting. We don't feel like having people come up in here and want to burn our shit down because we having a good time, because y'all know it was coming. They want to come in there so bad. No, you can't come. So they leave. So of course, like I said, the light-skinned lady, or the mulatto Mary, she was already in there flirting with her boo and everything. She said, let me go out there. I'll talk to them. They ain't going to talk to me. So she goes out there thinking that she could save the people like they always do sometimes. So no, they bit her ass and they sent her back in there. And the only way you can get past the threshold was that you had to be invited. So this big dude, they have recruited him as being their bodyguard, their front door man. He was funny. He was out there in the fields working earlier in the film, and the brothers would say, man, you need to come out here and earn some money. Bring your ass, And he was beside his wife, and his wife was like, he's like, man, that's my wife. You gotta be careful how you talk to her. He was like, well, shit, she know you bring home that money, she gonna get you a lot more pussy. And he was like, man, that's my wife. She said, wait a minute, baby. Now, how much money we talking? Said, see? Like, she was like, go on over there and talk, see what we doing. So, yeah, they got him to come out there to be the bodyguard. Well, anyway, Mary he invited her in. So, of course, when you invite the spirit in, the vampire in, then they get a hold of somebody. And, of course, Mary got a hold to Smoke. Finally gave him some of her cat. And she rolled him and bit the shit out of him. He kind of died, but he came back and tried to, they thought he was dead. Everybody was, oh, my God. Because Sammy went in there and was checking on him and everything. I forgot to tell you that the married woman that Sammy was flirting with earlier, she finally did come. And he was able to go in the back with her. And he was like, you know, he said, I want to try something. She was like, wait a minute. I just got here. I need to change. I need to go to the bathroom and, you know, clean up. He's like, I don't want you to clean up. I want to taste how you really are. She's like, really? She's like, okay. Well, okay. You know, as long as she rolls that skirt up, honey, and lay it back and let Lemmy lunch. I'm sorry, Sammy munch and crunch. And you know, so I think, I can't remember which twin heard him in the room doing it. And so they were saying that he needed to go check on the floor or something like that. So he asked the Asian woman to come by the door. She was hearing him just wearing that lady out. So anyway, all of that happened. And I went to the bathroom. I shouldn't have went to the bathroom. That's why I was like, I got to go back and watch it again. So, you know, it was different events where the white people came back and wanted to come inside. And so even Big Dude went out to take a pee, asked Elroy's character to come and, you know, watch the front door. He took forever to pee. And so when he tried to come back in, everybody was like, you know, where you been? Man, I had to take a pee and I had to take a shit too. Like, you ain't never, you asking us to come in. You ain't never had to ask us to come in. You just come on in. Well, you know, what's wrong with me being a man, being hospitable, asking for some permission? Y'all always think we acting. Anyway, they found out he was one of them. So he wound up running and turning and biting somebody. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. But it was so good. And then eventually in the end, you know, they were able to, because vampires can't last in the sunlight, so they was able to get, you know, the sunlight. And the vampire was somehow baptized as Sammy in the water. And but at the same time calling out scriptures, which is also true that Satan knows the word of God just like much you do, just as much as you do. You better come with some power. But anyway, he was able to outlast him, but we couldn't tell with the other brother. I think Stack and Mary, which was the white girl, left. We didn't know what happened to them, but Stack stayed with Smoke stayed with Sam. And I think in between when I was going to the bathroom, I think the brothers had had a fight, and one of them made a promise like, okay, don't kill Sammy, let him live out his life. He made the promise, so he never killed him. So they finally, the sun came out and the sun killed the vampires and all the minions, because the whole town, everybody that was at the damn juke joint earlier had turned into vampires. So I know I'm missing some stuff. So even the Asian husband went out there to go check the car, and then wound up getting caught. And the Asian wife was like, I need to go out there and get my husband. And he had changed, because, I mean, somebody was eating the damn man right in front of them. And she was like, baby, don't you see him eating? He's like, oh, yeah, he'll be all right. He's a little hungry. I was like, damn. It was good. I know I'm like all over the place. You just have to go see it. At the end, we see, remember the brothers went there to the building to buy, went to that building to buy the damn building to do the juke joint. So the vampire, before he died, he developed the ability, or he had the ability to read people's thoughts. So when he first arrived at the white couple's house, he read their thoughts, meaning that they had planned on, like the heavyset white man who sold Stack and Smoke the building, had planned on getting the clan back together to come to that place to call it a slaughterhouse. And so it wasn't really a damn juke joint. It was a slaughterhouse. They would use that to come there and hang black men and lynch them and do whatever they wanted to do with these black men. So when the twins had gotten there, everything was like freshly cleaned, and floors and stuff. They cleaned the blood and off. So the twins couldn't understand why it was so clean. Oh, you know, we got to keep it clean. You know, we're trying to do whatever. So yeah, the clan actually came back to the juke joint to kill the twins. But when they got there, Smoke was the only one that was there. So he took them all out. He had some guns, bow, 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 boop, boop, bow, bow, bow. He had them, boop, 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 killed them all. He somehow got shot in the stomach. I forgot to tell you that the girl from Lovecraft Country, the voodoo princess, the Hoodoo priestess, her and Smoke were together. No, Smoke, I can't remember. So, of course, I told you I'm tipsy. Anyway, she wound up dying, and she wound up getting bit in the neck, and she told him, like, look, please kill me before I change, because I don't want to be here all forever. I want to join our daughter on the other side. So she wound up dying, and he took a stake and slammed it in her chest so she can, cross over. So when he finally died, he was able to meet her again with their baby and be with them forever on the other side. He transitioned. Elroy Lindo's character he cut his arms open and had them come and chase him, and he ate him up so he could be a vampire forever. So it was good. And we go back to the beginning where Sammy arrived at the church. Everybody left. The pappy told him, like, boy, you need to give up this life. This life ain't good for you now. It ain't good. He was like, let that guitar go. So he would have the guitar, like half the guitar in his hand, like, it was broken. He wouldn't let it go. So he told him, you need to make a choice, because you can't stay here, if you try to do that. And so next thing we saw was Sammy driving with that damn guitar. He couldn't do it. So he wound up driving and starting his blues life, and had a really lucrative career, because he had like some scratches on his face. I don't know where he got that from. I need to look that up. Scratches on his face. And so back in the 90s, October 16th, which is my sister's birthday, 1992, he was playing in the club, and we actually see Stack and Mary, the mulatto girl, coming to the club, offering him, this is like post-credits scene, offering him eternal life. And the old Sammy was like, nah, I ain't doing that. I've lived my whole life, and I'm already at a ripe old age. When it's my time to die, it's my time to die. I don't need that. I don't need to live forever. I'm good. I'm good. He was like, you sure? Because I made a promise to my brother. I wouldn't kill you. I at least could offer you that. He was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that now. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that. So, and then they had another post credits of Sammy singing. I think it was Precious Lord. I can't remember. I told my boyfriend I feel like that was his audition. Like if you had to send an audition tape in, that might have been his audition for the role. And of course, the acting came naturally to him. So that was it. I had to talk about it. I saw so many people doing their reviews, and I'm not that deep when it comes to history and breaking stuff down about, Chicago and how they went down from Mississippi. And I don't know all of that. All I just know is that what I saw was a masterpiece on that screen. There was some slow moments, like the first part of the movie. I will say, when we went, there was a group of teenagers that were there, or at least young. And when it got slow, they started talking loud. They don't know brilliance. And they were smoking a hookah in the damn theater. When we started doing that, they were talking and stuff. I'm like, the only time they kind of hushed up was when all of the fighting and stuff. They was cool with that. But the build up, having the storyline and learning who the characters were and why they were the way that they were and why they made their decisions to come down. You needed to know that. And they started talking, and I said, I'm glad I wasn't sitting near them, because I would have been mad. I would have been real mad. I'm like, why come to the theater if you're going to be talking over it? All of us paid at least $15 to sit in them damn seats. We did a regular theater. Next time we're going to IMAX. But I'm like, y'all are so rude. Y'all was so rude. But they stayed. Most people stayed for the first half. They didn't stay for the second. I'm not too sure if they needed those post-credit scenes. I don't know if it was necessary. I'm curious about whether or not if he's going to do a prequel of the twins, because we did find out that one of the twins killed their pappy. I would love to know about Mary's role, about her mulatto growing up. I would love to know about the Hoodoo priestess. I can't think of that baby's name. How she got into it. I would love to know about Elroy Lindo's character, why he lost. He told a story about how that came to play. And also I would love to know, because Stack and Mary are like still alive and they're still wandering through because they have eternal life. Who else are they trying to grab? Who else are they getting? Of course, they have to really be strategic as to who they bite and who they choose. So I would love to see if there's going to be a Sinners 2 and how that's going to be. Hopefully it'll be a step above. Because remember, this first one was already reaching a great bar. I don't know how they're going to, overcome that if he does a part 2. But I think it's needed. I think it's necessary. It's like, this is like that particular film that just came out the blue. You know, it just came out the blue. I had no idea it was out there like that. A lot of us didn't. But it's good that the word did get out and that we were able to all come together and support it. I heard that financially they've done great just on Thursday and Fridays, opening nights and stuff. So I'm hoping that at the end, that is number one. If not number one, it'll be close. It'll be damn near number two. I think Accountant 2 came out. That's Ben Affleck's film. So hopefully it would have knocked down his and came up. So we'll see. But it was good. I had to give my 2 cents. I do recaps. And so I liked it. You know, I love a good cuss. And it has some cuss in it. It has some real dirty talk in it. It was good. It was so good. But the most brilliant scene was the musical scene. The calling of the ancestors and the spirits, and how all of it's connected, and how it can bring you, it could call you, it can pull certain spirits. It really can. If you try to live the straight and narrow and you hear that one song, that it could take you to a place that you're like, damn, I didn't even never think about that before. And then that song could keep cycling in your mind. It could cause you to do some things that you really never thought about doing before. You know, so it's true. Music is definitely is a portal to a lot of places. It could be good and it could be not so good sometimes. But you pick that sweet spot to where you relate to it and you'll be just fine. So I just had to give my little 2 cents. I really did. I mean, I've seen people do live reviews and break down the deep concepts of it. I've seen people who just, you know, gave 15 minutes or so. I'm like, I got to give my 2 cents. Might get about 3 views on here. But I got to get my 2 cents because it was good. It was really, really good. I mean, I have a whole new respect for Mr. Michael B. Jordan. Because, again, it's hard to do one character, let alone two on film. He had to do a whole for this one and a whole for that one. It's like, because again, he might have had a body double, but he still had to say the words. He had to do the lines. He had to learn the script. So I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I went. I don't have any regrets. I've been enjoying seeing all of the people give their reviews. One thing about me was that I did not see any trailers about the movie. All I just saw that it was on a commercial, and then my boyfriend said he wanted to see it, and that was it. Sometimes I will do a peek, but I was like, no, I'm going to chill with that. I'm going to just go ahead and watch it. I'm just going to watch it. So let me do my, upload this, and, you know, I just had to put my 2 cents in. Again, my name is Shar. I'm your recap auntie. I love film, theater, and TV. And I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good one. Bye.